right, so I was talking about the semantic mapping earlier, and this is the semantic mapping tool. For documents like Word and PowerPoint, PDF, web documents, text documents, that sort of stuff, we set up the semantics automatically for you, and that's sort of how that automatic link analysis happens. But you can also set it up on your own. So for this terrorist incident stuff, we don't have anything set up just yet, but I'm going to add a couple of things here. So I've got a person that I'm going to add, and I'm going to make this the, or sorry, not a person. I'm going to add an organization. We'll add the organization here. And the organization is going to be the organization responsible for each one of these terrorism incidents. We'll get rid of this guy here. And then the other thing I'm going to do is add an attack. And since each one of these is about an attack, then I'll just say that the title of the attack is what identifies each one of these objects. And then over here in my relationships, I want to say that the organization caused the attack. So we'll go ahead and we'll add that. And I want these guys all to be red, for example. So we'll just say OK here, and it goes off and does its thing. All right, so to show you how this affects things, I'm going to add another tab here. And we've got this one report back from before of the person. This is the one that mentioned the bad guy that was let out of prison and then was, we suspect, somehow related to this attack. So what we're going to do is dive in a little bit on this guy. So we'll drop that one record over here, and you can see now that I get a couple of different things here. So I've got organizations that were mentioned in that report. These two things are actually the same. It's just an abbreviation for the other one. And then we've got the person, and this person is talked about in 3 different ways, with 3 different spellings or ways of talking about the same name. So what I'm going to do is I'll just group all these together with the group items thing. So we can see this right here. It says 3 on it. That's because there's 3 different things that have been grouped into the same object here. And so what I'm going to do is use that add related and drop out all of the things that he's related to. So I picked up this Aden Abayan Islamic Army organization as something that he was related to. And what I'm going to do now is say that that's the same as these 2 things. So we'll group these guys. And then we'll add the related data for this. So you can see right here that, we'll just kind of zoom in a little bit, that it's picked up that new information that we had from the spreadsheet that we just dropped in. All the other stuff was already in our project. That's either the terrorist group information that we had, or it's in the reports that we dropped in. It might be in the new reports that we dropped in, that strategic forecasting stuff. But we've also got the stuff from the spreadsheet. So if I click on one of these, you can see it brings up that record from the spreadsheet that I dropped in a second ago. And so that's what the semantic mapping does for you, is it allows you to tell Starlight what's related to what within and across your data. And we can change these guys to a group of bad people. So there they go, a bunch of thugs. All right, so moving into the last little segment here, what I wanted to talk about was the reporting that we've added to the product. So what we have to do for that, we've got all of our terrorism incidents, and I'm going to build a category view for these guys, and we'll just we'll add target and tactic. So here's your category view that anybody who's used Starlight, I'm sure, has seen this more than enough. We'll add a color encoding for this just to make it a little more colorful. So what I'm going to do is go down here to fatalities. And what I'll do is I'll make a green, yellow, red encoding for this, and we'll just kind of make more sense here. There we go. And we'll turn off the other one. There we go. Okay. So now we've got this. Make it a little bigger here. We've got this category view, and we're showing the target in the outer circles, and then the tactic that was used in the inner circles, and then we can see with the red, green, and yellow how many people were actually killed in each one of those attacks. All right, so let's say that we want to send this report out to someone. We found something interesting in this, and we want someone else to take a look at it. So what I'm going to use here is on the Data tab, we've got Export View now, and this is, like I said, is a single button that combines all of the exporting options. So you can see those grouped up here. as how do you want this exported. Just to take a little second to describe a couple of other things we have here. The view screenshot is what we've always had in the past, where you just kind of, what you see is what you get. You can export the groups sidebar right here to a text file if you want for doing some of the statistical analysis. We also have a new one here, copy to clipboard. So if you just use this option, it will place the bitmap itself into the clipboard, and then you can paste that directly into a PowerPoint or Word or email or whatever without having to do a print screen and getting the section you want out of it and copy and paste that into it, or whatever the other process was that you might have used to use. But if we have the web report option, then we'll get that same image, but we'll get a bunch of other stuff with it as well. So I'm going to make a new thing here called report, and we'll just call the report. So it exports the report, and then the next thing you see is the actual report itself. So let me just kind of scroll this over a little bit, and we can zoom in a little bit. So here's this police category right here. We can see just like what we were looking at a second ago. Down on the bottom, we've got this spreadsheet view here, and then over on the side, we've got a display of each one of the records. So these records are relatively boring in the way they look, but you can see the same data that was in each one of those rows is collected over here, and also down here in this grid. I apologize, the font's a little small for you, but it should hopefully be all right. So you can also sort these columns down here. So we can sort by tactic, or we can sort by target. We'll come down here to where the police stuff is, since that's what we're looking at. So we can click on the police thing, and you can see that there's this little square that's highlighted the currently selected record. So you can, as we're going through this, you can see that little square moves around, and that just lets you know which one within the view you're looking at. This could be a topic view or a network view or any one of the views in Starlight. So this is one way of looking at the information. We've also got a statistics tab here. So I'll click on that, and the first thing I want to show you actually is going to be the target. So we'll update this. This is a little easier to look at. We've got just a descending order of incidents of different targets that we have here. So police, government. We can zoom in on a section of this. So if we wanted to zoom in here, for example, to the education institutions, we can take a look at that section right here. We could also take a look at this if we wanted to as a pie chart. So we can pop that up here, and you can see there's police are the biggest, and then government, and then kind of working its way down. And what I did here is I grouped anything less than 5 attacks into this other section right here. So rather than filling in a bunch of little 1% pies here, we've got just the one segment that includes them all. So we've got the visualization that you could see, the statistics that we could do, and then the other thing that we've got here, I don't know if you noticed already, is this open in Google Earth. The other thing that we do is if your data includes geographic information, such as location geocoordinate that we have here where the attacks were, we can give you a KML file, and we'll just click on this here, and I'll bring up Google Earth. And Google Earth is pretty prevalent. Obviously, it works on the internet, but there's a lot of closed networks that also have Google Earth installations. And let me just kind of get it to stop scrolling around for a second here. So here are all those attacks that we have in our record set. And I'll zoom in here to Iraq. Hold on a second while it get everything kind of, there we go, into position. So each one of those are showing up now as one of these little pins, and it's got the title of each one of these attacks on the pins. If we wanted to take a look at what's in a group of these, we could just click on it, and Google Earth does its thing by separating all of these out. So we could click on one of those guys, and here's the data that we have right here. It's talking about the column and row information that we had from our spreadsheet. So through Starlight, we were able to get this in from the spreadsheet into Starlight. We did a little bit of visualization with it, exported it to Google Earth, and in addition to the web report, we have the ability to send around KML files now as well. So if you wanted to show people your data overlaid in Google Earth, you could do that as well. And it doesn't have to just be points. We also do lines and polygons as well. So if you have, for example, a flight path that we have in one of our demos of UAVs, then you can see that line kind of work its way across the terrain in Google Earth as well.